start recording. So there. Welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. I am not center screen like I normally am. Man, this camera's pointing way over here. So I should be here. Yeah, whatever. Close enough. I should be like here. He says bouncing the camera and everything on the desk because the chair doesn't fit here properly. Anywho. Let's hop back in here. Let's hop back in. Not all of these test games. Let's hop back in here. God willing, we'll get some game audio. It is disturbingly quiet right now. So it occurred to me, I haven't really considered our construction design scheme, fleet design. Oh my god, it's a modifier certain nations get that other ones don't. For the Starfleet, for humans, it makes our ship hull better, ship shields better, cost more expensive. I'm hearing you. Like real quiet though. Maybe not abnormally quiet. Maybe I'm just sensitive today. No, that sounded better. Right now, construction methods, that's what it is. So these construction methods don't fit super well into our fleet design right now. That weapon damage is horrible. Ship hull points is great. Shield hit points, we have no shields. So that's awful for us. The combat disengagement chance is actually quite nice, but I don't care too much for that. There are a total of, let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23 powers, something like that, in this game that get construction methods. The Romulans, the Klingons, Suliban, Husnak, Starfleet, Dominion, Voth, Shiliak, Kazon, Borg, Kobeli, Vidian, Tholian, Vulcan, Breen, Orion, Tellarite, Andorians, Cardassians, Ferengi, and Xindi all have different construction methods. And as I understand it, just given that there's already so many of the game, there's probably intentions to have more later. They really run the whole gambit. Frankly, I like the Orions the best. The Orions give a bonus of plus 20 evasion, plus 5% weapons damage, at a cost of 10% ship cost. I think the Kobali probably have the worst. 10% cheaper ships, but your weapons are 5% worse, and that's it. All the same, that's not something we can change until we have our next Federation meeting, which I don't even remember where that is, or when that's going to be. Okay, so I remember saying something to the effect of that's future Alex's problem the last time we were playing a few times. Generally that's a prevailing attitude of mine, but I don't really remember as to what I was referring to. Let's ignore all these star bases. Are these shipyards coming along pretty... Ooh. Amber Maelstrom. I actually don't want this one. Yeah, get downgraded, son. Sorry, but you are the garbage system. This should not be the front line anywhere. So we have this colony now. Am I actually controlling this directly? Amber Maelstrom. No? Oh god, debug is still on. Yeah, to figure out... You can see here in the debug log, to figure out what the construction modifiers are, I started a new game and I went one tag at a time through the entire game. Alright, debug mode and debug UI? No, debug tooltip? Oh my god, what is it called? It turns on and off the overlay information that tells me things observed. Debug tooltip. I was right. I just mistyped it. Oh, that's still vindicating. Let's take a look. The 6th, 7th, and 5th fleets are just rendezvousing up to the connection between the Alpha Beta quadrants and the core. so we can redeploy them once they're actually in the neighborhood, right? The 4th Fleet is on station here in Lyridia because the Borg keep trying to hop through here and I can't intercept them quickly enough if I'm not immediately in this neighborhood. The 3rd Fleet is returning to station. They have reinforcements inbound, but they need repairs. 2nd Fleet is going ahead to try to intercept this, and the 1st Fleet is moving to reinforce that, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, follow the 2nd Fleet, if at all possible. The 1st Fleet is pretty damaged. Right, we just won a war. I was like saving the game and then it crashed, but autosave had our back here. This war, overall, war exhaustion is... We can't settle for a status quo. Why? Your war exhaustion isn't high enough and relative navy strength isn't high enough. But if we can push that to 1, we can settle this war whenever it pleases us. Really, I want to keep pushing this for as long as possible, but weird shit might happen. Oh, sweet water. It's an abnormally warm day here. My apartment's pretty cool, but well, my recording studio is not always the coolest place on Earth. So yeah, let's unpause this, let this go. Fast? Yeah, let's just do it on fast. Even on fast, encoding's taking a hit.
Under attack.
Here's Peruda. Do I have anything in the neighborhood to reinforce? You are in the neighborhood, but this was theirs anyway, and I think we let it go. Where are your reinforcements? There, okay, relatively close. Yeah, you just sit here and repair, let them take that back. That's okay. No, let's turn that up. That's fine with me. Oh, okay, land clearance. Does not matter. You are done in Timmerman. I suppose now we can go build in all these other systems that have just opened up. Fantastic. The Klingons are going to be very easy to integrate now. The Husnock Romulan front over here is going to be interesting to deal with, but really once the Borg are out of the picture, or at least effectively subdued, we'll be able to make some gains. Alright, yeah, I know I'm keeping the 4th Fleet here for aforementioned reasons, but if I could just move them here, they could intercept a lot closer to the actual front. Oh, right, we still have this stupid ancient drones thing going on. The erratic behavior of the narcoleptic drones has taken a violent turn. A number of them have awoken and entered the atmosphere of Maori Prime. As is their wont, only to swim into the surface of the planet at full thrust. Repeatedly, in many cases. Damage to the colony was negligible, but the nigh invulnerable drones were destroyed in bright showers of blue sparks, indicative of the tremendous force of, and dedication to, their self-destruction. I was playing around. Obviously, you could see the saves with the Suliban quite a bit. They're surprisingly fun. The Suliban are interesting because they have master geneticists. They have access to the cloning tree from the get-go. Now, I was curious what that looked like. They also are unable to colonize planets. They can only expand by building helixes. Helixes can only be built in... If we look at Exile, this would be a good example, I think. Yeah, Haven, for example, they can only be built around gas giants. It's a pretty cool mechanic. Each one costs 750 minerals, and they tend to be between size 20 and 23, 25? Mostly 20 to 22. Mostly 22. And it's surprisingly easy to get a pretty good tall build going on without too much spread. I had a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm gonna do that for our next campaign. I've had a couple of requests. I think someone a long time ago was asking about the Dominion. I today or yesterday got somebody asking about playing the Borg. I think the Borg are way too easy. They get more construction bonuses than anyone else. The Borg have 10% better hull. They have 10% shield and armor penetration. They get 10% bonus armor. They get 5% bonus weapons damage. And to offset that, their ships are 20% more expensive. But seriously, they're better at just about everything than anyone else, which is a little unfair. But they do have unique tech, which might be worth taking a look at. They also have some very unique mechanics, which are pretty interesting and potentially fun to engage with. You're moving to intercept the third navigators. Fucking, of course you are. Why wouldn't you? Man, they've got a lot of bullshit here. Okay. Just unpause. Bide your time. I had quite a bit of fun wrapping up, well, playing the entirety of that, New Canaan campaign yesterday. Ooh, Kamara Prime and Ultima Thule are both lacking in dilithium. Interesting. I think I knew of this before, but wasn't paying super close attention to it. Ultima Thule. Where the fuck are you? This was probably one of the cases of me saying it was future Alex's problem. Well, even with that dilithium shortage, we're good. So why don't I just... Kamara Prime... Wherever you need dilithium, let me be the first to say no, you don't. Yeah, see this? This is... Oh, no, not you. Demolish this. Not the Kravik. The Kravik I want to keep. The Kravik are very good. Whoops. And reels 2. Great, see this? Demolish. We have no need for garbage structures. Alright, we're done with that. Let's see. Ultima Thule is lacking a little bit. It's probably all these assimilated systems, yeah? Yeah, if I had to guess. Want to be that far off. Okay, demolish that. You can just be reassigned to doing whatever. Not why I'm here. Oh, you actually have more dilithium. Well, we're kind of full up on dilithium, but it's a very valuable export. Not that there's really anyone I want to be exporting it to. And it'll help prevent further pop-ups saying I don't have enough dilithium if I have an excess. So let's go after that. Yep, here you are. Go ahead, demolish that. There we go. I got you, game. I got you. The Shenzhou is already back at Earth. Cool. Now, of our planets, he says, popping his neck, who here has the highest science output? Sort by output. Physics. Physics is definitely Earth. 100% Earth. So, no surprise there. Let's have you right-click and assist research on Earth. Yeah, nothing surprising about that at all. Okie dokie. Third Fleet is almost reinforced. There's a lot of stuff going on up here that I'm pretty uncomfortable with. Why don't you move to intercept that? It's a few jumps away, but they are going after starbase, which doesn't mean much to me. The 4th Fleet will come fill in the gap. Yeah, you'll go up to Kempf. Whatever. It'll take a year for them to get on station anyway. 2 months out. Not 100% on what they are moving to intercept. Says you're moving after the 3rd Navigators. The 2nd Fleet are over here. 3rd Navigators are right here. Yeah, they're a pretty good target. They have been nipping up lots of little systems for me. Doing good work. Alright. I'd really love to see a cooldown for when the next when the next Federation member or Federation meeting will be, but that's okay. Oh. Federation member policy combined research. Federation member worlds shared of scientists, engineers, and research laboratories with all other worlds. The maximum benefit we can achieve from other member worlds. 25%. That's pretty significant. I suppose the more member worlds you have, the better this gets. Dope. I think I knew that at one point, but just forgot. Again, given how quick the Borg are, they're slower than us, but really not by much. I have a very strong temptation to not retrofit, but refit our ships with better sublight movement. Krabika's being invaded? Excuse you? Oh, it's just... yeah. Trying to save people from being Borg and it not going well all the time.
Invaders defeated.
It's gonna take a little while for us to get everything on station. Like, it's gonna be years, plural, before the 5th, 6th, and 7th fleets are even halfway. Really sucks. Oh, true sentient AI. This is right at the end of the tech tree. I lied in previous videos when I was saying that, or previous streams, when I was saying that I didn't think that there were any Star Trek New Horizons tech trees out there. Turns out I just hadn't looked hard enough. There are. I could not give you a link to it, but I googled it and I found it. And turns out there's at least one semi-decent one. And I don't know if it's completely up to date, but this is one of the very last techs. The final stage of AI creation. How can we know what beings we will create when their capabilities will, by design, surpass our own? It's pretty exciting. Mostly for the research bonus. Two months out. Now we have an allied fleet here. Is it at least slowing them down? It is. Only for a few days, but it was slowing them down.
Construction.
Godspeed. Really do not have much influence right now. Probably because if I remember correctly, we're using it to integrate the Vodwar as quickly as possible. Badware. As quickly as we can. Yeah, 001 are pretty important. But any Borg we can take out is good.
Construction complete.
Now I recall I was switching out Unity producing buildings in our sectors one at a time. I don't believe I got down here. And the only reason I'm pausing and doing this now is, well, our minerals are maxed out, So this is a grand opportunity to spend some. We got some. Alright. Local garrison, I guess? Yeah. It might not seem like this will change very much substantially. Our Unity output being cut will be sad, not hugely impactful, but a little sad. The research bonus that we're getting out of this, or not even bonus, but increased research output that we're getting out of this is not going to be huge, but it will be notable, particularly for our society research. Generally, society research is never my highest priority, but now that we have Suliban, we can go down genetic engineering research trees, and we can genetically modify our already psionic humans into something even more interesting, or any other species, really. Now, genetic modifications tend to not fit in the Star Trek lore for the United Federation of Planets super well, seeing as it's kind of outlawed and all that stuff. But to be fair, it also doesn't fit super well into Stellaris because it's expensive as hell and convoluted as hell trying to manage even more than one species in an empire. If you specialize species A to be good at tech, species B to be good at minerals, species C to be better at energy credit acquisition, is real clunky, and the AI have a habit of moving between tiles even when not assigned to or given permission to move from planet to planet. They'll still find a way. So I'm kind of curious about it. If we were playing a one species civilization like, say, the Suliban, then it would be a lot more interesting. But even playing someone like the Dominion, I think it would be too clunky for me to really engage with. Go ahead and replace this. You can have a local garrison. Iota Geminorum. That's fine. That's fine. Suliban. Right, I didn't put any influence buildings down here. Nope, or Unity, rather. Yeah, the homeworld of the Suliban was not called Suliban, but whatever. I know that that's the Suliban planet, and that's why I named it that. It'd be a little silly if they were named the same thing as their home planet. But not super silly. It's like being called Terran instead of human. I'm very okay with describing a human civilization as a Terran civilization because, well, the totality of our civilization isn't just the human species. There's all the other companion species like our pets and creatures we keep around for medical reasons, for medical testing and cloning and things like that. There's our food sources, and those aren't, strictly speaking, human, but they are part of our Terran global society. Point being, I'd be okay with referring to humans as Terrans, so I suppose that the idea of assuming other species would have the same name as their homeworld isn't that much of a stretch. And fuck, it just makes things so much easier to remember. Like, oh, Terrans, you're from Terra. Andorians are from Andor. Vulcans are from Vulcan. But maybe that's just me. I mean, fuck, even if we go look at on a smaller scale, we start thinking about the people from North and South America are Americans. I mean, predominantly people from certain parts of North America identify themselves primarily as American, but technically they're all Americans. People from Europe are European. Why then people from Africa, Africans, Asia, Asians, etc., etc. Really, you don't call people from Australasia Australasians, you call them Australians more than anything else, but still the point holds. Why the fuck would you call someone from Terra human? Or Earth human? You'd call them an Earthian or an Earthling, which is such a stupid weird word. Terra and Terran, just very nice and neat and orderly grammatically. But at least in the Star Trek universe, Terran comes with a lot of baggage, right? That the Terran Empire is the mirror dimension version of the United Federation of Planets, or at least United Earth. That they're xenophobic, militaristic, paranoid fucks who are zero amount of fun to be around. But, you know, it's still, I think it's a good word. And I'm kind of sad we're reaching the end of the tech tree and notable landmark goals in this campaign, because we've been playing it for quite some time. Part of me is very ready to move on and take a look at some other civilizations, or, well, I'd say play some other mods, but I still contend this is one of the best mods, if not the best mod out for Stellaris. And the competition doesn't really come close. The United Federation of Planets I played initially because, what does this build? You gave one defensive army. I'm actually not that big of a fan of this, but whatever, we'll keep it. The Federation I played because we can pull a little bit of tech from other races, but it won't be any better than what we're using. Generally, the tech tree in this game, as it is in many games, is very diamond shaped. Like, it starts out very narrow, then it widens out with different races having different techs they can get, like Andorians getting blue phasers, stuff like that. But by the end of the game, the best weapons are still the best, so it closes back up a little bit. In the mid game is where it would be really cool to mix and match a lot of those things. There's still some tech that we would really like to get, like I was talking about the Sulban being master geneticists have some unique tech we can get, but generally we're really coming up on the end of it here. Okay, this is fine. At least you don't have any unity structures, right? Yeah, that's what I'm coming through here for. Narratively, it's fun to play as someone besides the United Earth or some other person who forms the United Federation of Planets, but it doesn't feel quite the same way. The Star Trek universe is told narratively from the perspective of humans, so the lore does tend to lean very heavily on a human-centric, Earth-centric, Federation-centric story and worldview. Which isn't bad, but it's kind of hard creating content out of the cage there. Now, I'd really love to see some inclusion of Endgame Crisis in the form of the Iconians. That's what I really want. The Mirror Universe invasion is cool, but that was mildly disappointing as an Endgame Crisis. Really, the Borg are our Endgame Crisis right now. That, or I am the Endgame Crisis. We have had Awaken Empires, or at least one, but they haven't done anything. Which is to our benefit because they border us and only us. So if they had started picking fights with someone, it would not have ended well for me. Especially while most of our fleets are quite busy on other fronts. it might be fun to play as somebody small next time, or, and I'm thinking about this, or just to take a really quick look at some of the other powers. Do the way I do Hoi 4, like 4-hour segment playthroughs of different civilizations on there, I could be convinced to do something like that for New Horizons. Yeah, you're right. There's 8472 Invasion, which never happened, and my God, I can never remember 8472's number. I've talked about it at least half a different times in this while I've been streaming this, and I don't think I've gotten it right once. I keep saying codes to locks from different jobs I've had or different escape rooms that I played. Yeah, the Borg used to have a civil war that happened. I don't know if that still happens. It's been a very long time. Been like a year or maybe more before, or since I remember seeing anything about the Borg having a civil war. Species 90210, yeah. Fuck, it might as well be, with how I remember this. They will invade, presumably, at some point. But we just gotta twiddle our thumbs until then. That or try to have everybody join the Federation. I have no qualms about trying to get everyone to join the Federation, as that seems like, well, what I want to be doing anyway, so why not? Hold on. Yeah, this looks fine, sure. Kamara Prime. Alright. You really aren't producing that much Unity. Never mind. You may be. You're not. Are you producing Unity? Nope. The Borg just had you. You're not producing anything. Alright, moving on. Mickens, you're producing nothing. Yeah, the events in the code is actually pretty, they're pretty visible. They're intentionally made pretty visible. And all of their coding is very, very legible. Sincerely, to the credit of the mod authors, their coding format style is perfectly in keeping with the standard laid out by Paradox, which I cannot say that I express my appreciation for nearly enough, because reading through their code trying to figure out certain things has been a breeze. There's a lot of it, and some things are obfuscated, like researching certain time travel texts or temporal texts can have an effect, a temporal wave. It can affect random things, like very small things, like one system belonging to one nation or another, or being owned or not owned, certain populations being on a planet or not being on a planet. It can also affect things like big things, like ideologies of nations. And really, the only time that happens is when temporal tech is researched by anyone and has a very small % chance of happening. And I think the Krenim have some sort of special mechanic that goes along with it, but I can't really remember. Now, it's not Backlash, it's like Wave, something Wave. It's not important what exactly it is. I was playing as the Zindi once, and I had it happen. I'm like, there's an event where the time-traveling historian shows up, and one of the paths that can take is the time-traveling historian tells the captain involved accidentally something about the future. And the historian freaks out and like, yo, I gotta erase your memories because I just fucked up big, and you can go along with it or not. And if you don't go along with it, it will make changes to the timeline. but the game isn't very explicit in what the changes to the timeline are, and cracking open the code to find out what the changes to the timeline are, it's not specified, because it's randomized somewhat. That was the only occasion where I wasn't able to find exactly what I was looking for when I cracked open New Horizons. And even then, the community's, you know, I wouldn't say active, because in comparison to, say, Kaiser Reich's community, it's pretty quiet, but it's a very robust community. And generally, if you have a question, it's been asked before, right? The mod's been around long enough, and enough people have played it, there's enough weird things to ask questions about that. It's pretty good. It turns out that that crashing error I was having around the end of June, first week of July, no, the end of June primarily, where we couldn't save every time I tried to do it, the game would crash, and we experienced it last time way at the end. That wasn't just me, and I was freaking out. You know, freaking out, maybe a strong word for it, but I was feeling like, oh fuck, it's a compatibility issue, or oh, it's something going wrong with my machine, I'm gonna have to, nope. It turns out it was actually something in the mod, and there were quite a few people being like, the game crashes every time I try to save, WTF, and like, ah, well this, my dude, is why you turn on autosave, and let autosave have your back. But it's been fixed. It was a known issue and it got fixed in a couple of days. Or in a week or something like that. I'm curious what caused the problem, just from an academic perspective, but they are very smart people. I think they're currently looking for, I may be wrong about this, at least a couple of weeks ago they were looking for more playtesters and beta testers to help them get ready for the new release. Which I'm tempted to do, but I'm a busy man and probably could not commit the time necessary to contribute anything super useful besides like, here's a bunch of localization files you should fix with weird typos or grammar that doesn't actually follow typical syntax rules. I don't think that's exactly the most exciting content additions. Important, absolutely, but they do not need me for that. I am fully confident that they are able to fix those issues entirely on their own. So we're getting rid of this. This is our... After this, we never have to look at another Unity building again, unless we want to. Just replace them all with trading centers and frontier clinics. Alright, Morihan, Dewa. It's weird playing through off stream when I'm not recording and seeing system names and being like, why does that seem so familiar? Well, it probably seems familiar, Alex, because you've reread the word dozens, if not hundreds of times, and edited the planets under there many times over. Stellar Academy. Talking about the construction methods, I was struck by the Cardassians in particular. I mean, a lot of these were pretty interesting. The Dominion having the highest total damage output tied with the Andorians was interesting. But the Cardassians have 10% worse shields, 10% worse evasion, which is huge in my book. I love evasion. 5% cheaper cost, which is alright. 5% better weapons, which is okay, but 20% stronger armor. That is the Dominion, Klingons, and Cardassians all focused very heavily on armor. And I wonder if the AI has the capacity to be aware of these passive bonuses that it gets and try to min-max them. I kind of doubt that the AI has that sort of cognizance to it. Paradox AI tends to have the subtlety of a hammer, to put it politely. So I kind of doubt they would build specifically for the racial bonuses that they get, but it's really interesting that those are a thing. And as a player, if you play anyway near the way that I do, and you like stacking bonuses and trying to squeeze the absolute most you can out of something, that does add just enough tiny little flavor to make playing different civilizations actually feel different. Now, after a while, some of these modifiers are like +1 to this, -5 to that. Ooh, not huge differences, but the Zindi will not exist if the United Federation of Planets doesn't have the Zindi crisis. The United Federation of Planets, or United Federation, the United Earth, not Federation of Planets. The Federation can't have the Zindi crisis. So what'll often happen, the reason you're not seeing the Zindi, is the United Earth will join a coalition with either two of these three, either the Vulcans, the Andorians, or the Tellarites. Be in a coalition with at least two of them. If 3 of those 4 are in a coalition, an event will fire with a mean time to happen of like 5 years, 10 years, and then they'll form the United Federation of Planets. The United Federation of Planets cannot have the Zindi crisis fire. If the Zindi crisis doesn't fire and complete, then the Zindi nation will not spawn. And if the Zindi nation doesn't spawn, like it didn't for us, because we just didn't have the Zindi crisis, or they just didn't spawn. I think they just didn't spawn for us for some, whatever. Point being, that's the reason that'll happen. Yeah, I'm not sure if those personalities have been incorporated into New Horizons. It kind of seems like it. For example, when we've looked at Borg ships in the past, they have been 0 shields. But then again, it may be because the Borg have no access to shield technology. They've been 100% armor. And %100% same type of weapon, very high emphasis on shield and armor penetration. It may just be that the AI weighs those items as being better, but I don't know if that's true. My grasp of how New Horizons AI varies, if it does vary at all from vanilla AI, is not good. I do not have enough under the hood knowledge there. I've looked at some of New Horizons code, a lot of it, but not all of it. And the thing about trying to keep up with the mod's code is every month or so it changes. Klingon Cardassian ships. Yeah, we can take a look at Klingon ships. If the Cardassians have any ships, we'll take a look at them. The Klingon Cardassian mirror universe invaders probably would have been a good one to look at. I wonder if they had construction effects. They probably did. And, well, maybe not, but they'd be a very interesting example to take a look at. I'm kind of willing to bet that the Klingons aren't doing anything too crazy. They might be. So let's see. You already have a garrison here. Where is the other one? Right here. Frontier Clinic. Delightful. Trappist 1F. Give you a Frontier Clinic. And then give... That's it? You only had the one. You only had the one? Yep. Alright. The X-Cancery. Oh god, there's so many left. I thought we were making such good progress through these. Well, at least it's not lagging as badly as it used to. Yeah, let's take a look before I keep doing this. It's a nice diversion. The Romulans should be, if I can find one of their ships, they should be focusing on, well, I can see it, but can I see it? Evasion. Huh, so they have put thrusters on this, right? What have you been doing? No, it doesn't look like the... They're not using evasion utilities, anyway. Their shields also get a bonus. Don't they? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, they get a 30% shield bonus. Oh, but we can't see it. Ah. We can't see their built-in bonuses. Huh. Or their hull point reduction? No, we can't. Alright, well, interesting. They have a very high evade, anyway. You, my Klingon boys. This is a cruiser. This should be very indicative. The Klingons, they get a lot of modifiers across the board, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they didn't min-max this. Klingons get... where to go? Minus 10% hull strength, minus 20% shield strength, minus 10% cost, plus 10% weapon output, plus 20% armor, minus 20% disengagement chance. So that means they should be focusing primarily on armor, just because of that 20% bonus they get to it, and it doesn't look like they're doing that. It looks like they're defaulting to what the shipbuilder defaults to, i.e. covariant shields are the best shields available. Also cloaking generator, that's kind of weird. But it's not bad, it's just weird, and these are... Well, no, you're using a blade of armor, so maybe not. It's really hard to tell. Really hard to tell if they're paying attention or not. They might be. But looking at an artist's work, it's kind of hard to get inside of their head sometimes, if you'll take the analogy. Yeah, shipbuilder always defaults to shields over armor. I think the reason it does that, or at least the logic I understand, is shields recharge faster than armor, which recharges it all, and then hull doesn't recharge at all. So of the three, shields are better as far as the defensive, calculation goes. Shields are best because they'll come back. Armor's second best because it can come back. Hull is worse because it can't come back. Unless you're at a shipyard. And then, therefore, the offensive capabilities priority should be penetrating shields is better than penetrating armor, is better than damaging shields, is better than damaging armor, is better than damaging hull. I think. But again, I'm not 100% on that. The last time I looked at Stellaris' AI code was before 2.0 came out. So, since the huge rework this year, I've not looked at how the AI has changed. And presumably, it has changed. God willing, it has changed. Because if it hasn't, well, the AI's not performing that badly, so it must have. Oh man, here's a mod request. Make me a colony automator. Make me a tool set that lets a program outfit all of my colonies for me, because this shit is not fun anymore. This shit stopped being fun a long time ago, but now I'm just doing it out of a feeling of necessity. Like, when you only have a dozen planets, it can still be fun to hop between them and try to specialize them, but that point has come and gone. Now it is tedious work trying to keep up with this. DX Cancer Prime. But again, and I'm saying this to assure myself more than I am to assure you, once we're done with this, we're not going to have to come back to Unity for any reason. We can just leave it in the dust. Wolf 359 Prime. None. Huh. How about that? Alright. Secundus. Nothing at all. Okay, 3 sectors left. Oh god, that's more than 3, that's 5. Raider, Ultima Thule, Bannister. I know I started working from the bottom at some point last time I was recording. God knows I don't remember. You know what? No. No, I'm taking a break from it. I'm gonna keep streaming this, but I'm taking a break from modifying the planets. We'll keep the planet menu open, and once our minerals are full, we'll jump back in, but God no, I need a change of pace. That's just exhausting. Been recording for almost an hour and we've done very little. Besides, reorganize. How many fucking planets? Probably 70, 60, 70 planets. Hopefully 70, not 60. Yes. The research deal, or research agreement, almost certainly doesn't do anything for us. But the rest might. Lots of retreating pyramids, I don't like that. I'd rather see dead pyramids. What's the damage? Only one dead crone, one dead probe, 2 dead pyramids. Well, it's not nothing, but it's not good either. Oh, second fleet. Shit. You were supposed to intercept the fleet that I've now lost sight of. They were moving to intercept this, so they're probably moving to where the navigators are. In Ahem. Ahern? That's Ahern. That's a missed opportunity. Ahem would be a much better system. No. IMO. Don't like this. You're attacking Starbase. Is this going to intercept? No, but it might with this. That's okay. Am I going to... Oh, I am. I am moving to... move into the battles system. Okay, you're just taking out the station. Delightful. We were building a sensor array a long time ago. What happened to this? You still building? You're probably still building. Ah, so it's not actually a sensor array, it's just a physics facility. Okay. Large array subspace antenna clusters capable of collecting detailed information from many light years away. I was hoping this would be like the vanilla megastructure, the one that lets you see like 3/4 of the map. That's okay. We may be able to force a white peace. We could force a status quo with the Borg. I don't want to. That's just a noteworthy moment because it means we have the forward momentum moving on. Alrighty. Excuse me? You don't have a traffic control center? It's blasphemy. Right, Duckworth is now outfitted with enough shipyards to be worth a damn, though Duckworth is still kinda out of the way. It's near-ish the front lines, but not near enough. Holy fuck, it is a huge relief to not have to be jumping down here worrying about this invasion going on at the same time. Then after yesterday's New Canaan game in Old World Blues, it's just like I'm not having to frantically jump back and forth between different fronts. What's happening? It's too calm. Grog. What a fantastic name. I should have said yes to Grog. That's a winning name there. I might want to turn around and intercept some of these. That's a sphere. That ain't no joke. If that decides to try to take out outposts, it can. Huh, fuck. Yeah, first fleet break off. Go intercept this. And the second fleet's probably, I'm not going to be able to save the third navigators. I want to, but we're not going to get there in time. Oh. Nah, just wait until the end of the hour. The next recording hour, I'll go back and do the rest of the planets. How about that? Alright, second fleet, once you're done there, you're gonna have to go over to Gwyn, because I mostly have you out here to murder stuff. Granted, you're doing a fine job murdering that starbase, but that's not what I meant. Out here to kill Borg. Well, so long as they don't turn on us, just go one system at a time, I suppose. Are you moving to intercept? You absolutely are. Okay.
Hostile fleet encountered. Station under attack.
Yeah, station under attack. Nope. Not having any of that. 100 days? Fuck, dude. 116 days to go this distance? How? How are you that slow? I mean, you're not that slow. What in the world is the hang up there? That's crazy. Alright, fourth fleet is roughly on station. Let's get you in here to start doing some harassing. Because I don't want to give them any opportunities to think that they can jump through here. Ancient drones looking for drones. The surviving drones have been missing since the suicide incident. History buffs on Maori Prime are convinced that the drones are still in close proximity, shielded from prying eyes by some lost technology. But the expected time window for their next activation has come and gone. Progress on deep analysis of the destroyed drone's remains has been slow, but a breakthrough is expected soon. Alright, 5th Fleet, 6th Fleet, 7th Fleet, they're still quite a ways out. Alright, but I have it on pretty good authority, i.e. my own, that you all can head up to this area pretty safely. The Borg are not going to be anywhere near our southern systems. I should probably put a starbase on that, huh? Where you going? Attacking starbase. You're only a probe, so you won't do great on your own, but I don't doubt your intent or ability to follow through. So maybe not. Maybe don't do that. How about that? Well, I'm gonna put in a cut as soon as we hit, what is this, gonna be September? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Hit August. Because of the autosave mostly. So it's been about an hour. I'm gonna keep streaming for ever. If you're watching this on Twitch though, damn it. If you're watching this on YouTube though, this is going to be the end of the recording for today. Come back again tomorrow for more of this. In the meantime, make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. You know what to do by now. There's no way you're jumping into episode 40-something, 50-something going, oh, neat. Yeah, you got it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, YouTube. Toodaloo.